Welcome to the Windsurfing podcast, back again for episode 60. And this week we've got another live stream for you. And I had a bit of trouble with the title of this because we've had Ask the Shaper, Patrick Detown, Ask the Slalom Pro, Geordie Vonk. And then I was like, and I'm thinking, well, he's pretty bloody good at slalom. He's pretty bloody good at freestyle. He foils. He does pretty much everything. And I was struggling with this, so I just thought, ask the pro. So this guy has probably got the biggest smile on the Peterway Tour. He does all the disciplines. He's been up there in the podiums. He has done it all. He comes from Bonaire. It is, of course, Taty Frans. Now, I'm going to put him in. We have had a few teething problems. He's over in Bonaire. He's island style. He's very relaxed. So it's like 2 minutes to go. He's like, oh, I can't do it. So I'm hoping we can get him in. I've just looked down. I'll see he is there. So let's see if we can bring him in. Taty Frans.
I'm here.
How you doing,
sorry.
man?
Good. I'm sorry.
No worries.
For trouble.
There might be a bit of a delay. He's on his phone, but we have got him. So I'm quite chuffed about that because it's about 1 minute before this, I was thinking it wasn't going to happen. But we got him. Firstly, how's Bonaire treating you? It looks nice over there at the moment.
Yeah, it's been pretty windy the last 7 days, 20 knots plus every day, and then sunny. I'm fully burnt.
Living the dream. I mean, I think for most people, Bonaire, if they've never seen it, I'll explain it, but it is paradise, isn't it? It literally is paradise. It's like sailing in a bathtub. The water is that warm. It's shallow, actually. Perfect color, the wind's steady. I don't know many people that I know that have been to Bonaire and gone, nah, I don't want to go back there.
Well, I mean, I've been traveling for the last few years, and it's been amazing actually. And then now with the COVID happening, it's been 2 years without traveling, and then you get used to it, and then to travel again is like, oh, why am I leaving again?
Yeah, it's tricky, isn't it? It must be super tricky for you guys because you live in paradise. And then you get to go away. You're like, well, what the hell? And we're going to these spots around the world. Well, obviously, this is, ask me anything. I don't know about anything, but we'll have to see how Taty gets on. But you can fire in your questions for Taty Frans. And obviously, this guy has been around in a good way.
For 20 years.
Started off, obviously, freestyle. Maybe just give us a bit of background. You started off, freestyle, early 2000s, late 90s?
I started freestyle 99. And then Tonky, it was Tonky who was starting it to do all these loops and stuff and Vulcans, and I started after because I can never imagine myself doing something first. So I always saw Tonky do something, then I followed Tonky. And then 2002 we went to the tour for the first time. We went to Boston, Costa Brava, Italy, Legarda, right? Actually, King of the Lake. Then
this was the start of freestyle, wasn't it? This was just a couple of years into freestyle. And obviously, for people who don't know, Tonky is your brother.
Brother, yeah. Actually, when I was on tour, it was when Matt Pitcher became world champion. And then Antoine was already world champion back then, 2001 to 2000. So it's kind of I think we were right on time to be on the freestyle scene, actually. And then it was a long journey to get to those guys' level because we were living so far away. So we were watching videos and all these big those VCR.
Was it videos though? It was magazines, as far as I remember, sequences and
yeah. Do you remember Josh Stone?
Yeah,
he had this magazine with all the moves. So we had to order that online. I mean, order it, and then it got in Bonaire late 2001, and we were just going back and forth what, and then from there on we just moved to Flaca, and then came the Diablo and all those stuff, So it's been pretty crazy actually. And then actually back then 2002, Tonky won Tonki won the first event. I mean, like the last event, and then from there on we became kind of like famous. But it wasn't easy actually.
No, but I remember, like, it's interesting you say that because there'll be maybe some kids watching this. I say kids because I'm old now. So anyone under 20 or in the 20s is like a kid for me. But trying to learn freestyle back then, because I was one of those people, the internet, and this sounds so like I'm so old, there was no real internet videos. It was like there was
No.
Continent 7 was and Daily Dose. I remember those guys hadn't really come out then. So it was like you would see like you say, a sequence, or you'd see a video and it would come out 6 months later. So you were
So we were always
difficult.
So we were always kind of like late to learn the moves, but then we always try to find our own way to like mix stuff, you know. Like the double flagger came when I caught this fin, this wave fin. I got it to like 19. And I remember I was doing a flaka, and then suddenly the board just spins around. I'm like, so we can do double of flaka. So then became the spinning moves, you know, like the double flaka, the spark into spark, and then just keep on spinning. And that's when Kiri became like the spinning champion, you know, or spinning king. So it was all because of this small, you know, those small fins.
And well, I even imagine when Kiri came up, he was on that. He was sailing a waveboard on an Evo, starboard Evo, because he was so small.
Because back then they didn't have any smaller board. You know, it was like this 280, 270 cm board. You know, super long. So
it's so mad because I remember seeing you guys. I'd never heard of you, and then these two black dudes just turned up doing chat-choos and stuff, and I was like, who the hell are these guys? And then I heard like they're from Bonaire. I'm like, I don't even know where Bonaire is. I'd never heard of it. You know, and I was like, and they've got so much style. They're just killing the top guys in the world. Like, it felt like you just appeared for me out of nowhere. Like, it was mad.
Actually, we did came from nowhere, because even till now, everybody is asking me where is Bonaire. So I have to explain them, you know, it's like near Venezuela, you know, Aruba. Like, yeah, Aruba, I know Aruba. But Bonaire is like 30 minutes from Bonaire and from Aruba. So it's like, but still they don't know Bonaire. So we're still trying to explain people. Bonaire is like close to Venezuela, Aruba, and so on.
I mean, I think the first time I'd seen Bonaire was when the first PWA happened. And that was kind of my first. I think Tonki pulled off a Chachu in the final or something, wasn't it?
Against Ricardo. And he won the heat, and then he won the event.
Big, and then that was big.
It was kind of like a big thing, because if Tonki beat Ricardo, Matt will be world champion. And if Ricardo beat Tonki, Ricardo will be world champion. So kind of like Tonki messed it up for Ricardo became world champion in that year.
That Matt was on Gastra.
Yes, HD and Gastra.
Was on Gastra.
HD Gastra, yeah. So it was good that Tonki won the event, because then he will be like one of these coming stars. And then for Matt was good, because then Matt will become world champion. So it was like, you know, the young guns versus the old guns, and then, you know, it's like
Yeah. That's mad. It's mad. And I also remember you boys coming to Pozo for the first time, and it looked like kids in a candy shop. It was just massive airs.
I remember I was there it was in July, I think, or June, July, and we arrived there, and we were like 70 kilos or maybe less kilos. So it's like any smaller sail that doesn't even work. I was sailing on a 2.9, like fully jacked. Like, you know what?
On your freestyle board.
Place, yes. I was like, you know what? This place, I will never ever come back. And then the next year, I was coming again. It's like,
yeah. I actually think it was Tonki. I just remember him doing these massive rocket airs on this AHD freestyle board.
Yeah,
and the thing just had so much lift. He was huge.
Yeah, it's true. Man, I can't remember all of those times, but I remember that we stayed there for like 2 months. Like we had no money. kind of, but somehow we made it work. And then I don't know. It's been
Staying in
like just
Laola?
huh?
Staying in Laola?
Yes, yes, every
Yeah.
day, all day, man.
It's mad. Like for people who don't know, Laola is like a hostel in Pozo. And back in the
Yes,
day, there wasn't much going on in the town, but pretty much all these upcoming pros, like the who's who of windsurfing, were all in this tiny hostel in the middle of Pozo. And Mila, the woman who runs it, she's cooking for them and she's looking after everyone. It was Ricardo, everyone was there.
insane. You know what? I still believe it's. I still miss those days. We were all young. We were all just cruising, just chilling, just having fun. Just chilling like every day, the whole day. It's been windy. We were having fun with Ricardo, Dion, Goyito. It was we had like a young group of guys just coming to the tour fresh,
Yeah.
and then it was just the whole vibe was fully another thing.
There was no
And I
expectations, were there? There was no like, I don't know how you say it. Like now it feels like, oh, we need certain amount of prize money. We need to do this. We need certain
yeah
standards. But back then it was like, whatever. We just want wind.
yeah like yeah, but like until now I've missed that, like those times were better. Life
Yeah.
was much more like fun. Now it's like serious stuff. You
Yeah.
have to do this. Yes sir, yes sir, yes sir. And I hate
Yeah.
that.
Everybody was simple, wasn't it? It was super simple. Like everyone
Yeah,
was just doing it
just
because they
yeah,
wanted to do it. It wasn't because their house depended on it or their, money to pay food bills. It was just
yeah.
like,
And I really miss those times. And then now it's just another thing. Now comes the foiling. The slalom change. Like things change. And yeah.
well,
Um.
we're going to get onto a bit of that because this is going to be a bit of a strange podcast. Maciek obviously is a lot more planned and prepped than me. I come
Yeah.
with nothing.
Yeah.
I'm just going to use you guys at home to ask the question. So
Yeah.
if you've got any questions for Taty Frans, I can see there's quite a few already coming in, but they can be literally about anything because this guy has been there and done it all from the early days of freestyle to getting into slalom. When I reckon, how heavy were you? 78 kilos when you first started
When
slalom?
I first went to Pozo, it was 2006. It was right before the team. Remember the team with
Yeah.
Matt Pritchard, Kevin Pritchard. They switched to Gastra. Remember, so they switched to
Maui
Maui
Sales.
Sales. So I had to go with the team. So I had like two choices. Either I stay Gastra or I go with the team. I was like, you know what? I'm going with Kevin and Matt because they were like my idols back then.
Yeah.
I'm like, yes, I'm gonna go to Matt Pritchard and film again. I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna just kick some ass, get the best out there. And then I arrived in Pozo. It was blowing like 50 knots. I'm like, oh my god, I have no force. I have a 4.2. I'm like, oh. Wow. Then came Phil. Said, yeah, I have a 4.2 for you, race sail. A 4.2 race sails, no camber sails. So I rig up the sail with my Super X board. Do you remember those days
Yeah.
we had Super X? So I rigged the 4.2 Super X board with this wave, kind of like race fin. Was like swept back fin. I just do it. And I was doing good actually. Somehow, I don't know how, but I was just killing everybody with this Super X board. And then I started jibing inside people, and then I got disqualified because I was jibing inside, which you were not allowed to do back then.
Okay.
So from finishing top 10, I was like DSQ, DSQ, DSQ.
Gutted.
Yeah, but I liked it. And then, but the thing is, I was so small, and I wasn't really wanted to do slalom because I found freestyle to be so boring to do just one thing. So every year I was just asking for a board, three sales, just to do it for the fun, and then somehow I got connected to it. On the
Yeah.
slalom thing, yeah.
But I
But
remember like you. I remember you competing in Furta and stuff. I think you were on starboard by then. Maybe.
yeah, I switched to starboard 2005 actually.
Okay.
And so my first event was Pozo. Then I went to Fuerte, and then in Fuerte I was kind of like doing better. But I wasn't even training to do slalom. I was just doing it because I wanted to do something else, you know. And then my contract got better if I do racing. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna do racing then. But I was still missing to do free freestyle. So I'm like, slalom freestyle, slalom freestyle. And then the weight changed because I had to do slalom. I had to be heavy. But I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna be strong. So I want to be light but strong. Because in the end, if you're stronger, you can go faster.
Yeah. Is that your tip? Because we were talking about this with Geordie last week, you know, and I was saying I would love to see weight categories like under 80 kilos. Because I used you as an example, actually, because when I used to commentate when we had events.
It's a comedian.
No, I was looking at you and I definitely remember 78 kilos. And I just remember how fast and you were holding off some of the big guys, but it just looked like you had to push so hard that you were on the edge in every race. Is that
Yeah.
is that how you go fast? What's your top tip for going fast, being a
If
lightweight?
I if I start from the beginning, I tell you the truth. The first few races, like the first few events that I did, I was like dead. Like my legs were like completely gone because I wasn't used to the racing stuff. So the muscles that you are using for racing is different. So I used to always use like 2 meters, like 2 meters short. I'm smaller than everybody else. I
How
think,
tall
and
are
then
you?
when
Just for people on the podcast, like how tall are you?
I'm 176.
Oh, okay.
176. Yeah. And so back then I was like 70 kilos. So I was
Oh,
using
really?
4'7", while everybody was using like 5'9" or maybe 6'3" or 6'6". So I think like what I found that I like is because I can always go smaller. And when you are smaller in the racing, you can always go faster. I mean, you have to be strong to go fast. Because in the
Yeah,
end, if you can hold down to the gear, you can always go faster. While someone which is big and be like out of control, goes slower. So I think that was my advantage of being strong and then still able to hold the gear down and then just go for it. But it took my level of racing. I was completely like dead. After one race, I was completely dead. Really, believe me, I was dead.
where you were dead because people. I've just done this Deafy Win video and I've been moaning all the way through the race, and people are going,
Yep.
"Oh, it can't be that bad" or whatever. But I honestly, my legs, like, what part of your legs is the worst part when you were starting? Do you remember? What was the pain? Where's it come
Um,
from?
um, I don't think it's the leg. I think I never felt the
Chin.
leg to be so tense. I think it's more like the arms or the back starts hurting after like a long reach. Do
Okay.
you remember Daffy? Like in Daffy, my legs were like okay, but then my forearms were like
Okay.
like huge, massive. Yeah. Um, I never believed that a big guy can go fast. I mean, of course, if you're big and tall, you can go faster than the small guys. But if you can put us in a racing circuit with like jibing and stuff like that, and the reaches are not so long, a small guy can still be the
Yeah.
big guy.
Do you
And
feel that that's maybe lacking over the years? Maybe mixing up the courses, making them, because I think as soon as you lengthen the reach, it does suit the bigger guy. So if you have a shorter reach, you think it would change a little bit of who's at the top, or
I had better racing when it was windy, like
yeah,
Pozo and Fuerte, New Caledonia. I think those races when it gets windy, it doesn't really matter like how heavy you are. I think if you have the right gear, you can always win.
okay,
If you know your board, if you know your sail, if you know your fin, I think it's the best thing to do to go fast, because some people go too big and then they are so small they cannot even handle the sail, and then you will go slower. So I was pushing the limit to don't go so big but still be able to plane throughout the jibes. And then I think that helped me throughout the years when I was doing, I mean when I am still doing racing, but being small, being able to pump through all the jibes, I think that helped me a lot to gain to go ahead
Yeah, I
from
actually
the pack.
remember a specific race in Aruba where you were racing with Phil McGain, I think it was, or no, with Mikey Bouzinis.
Mike was, yeah.
And there was like, because he was on Maui Sales, I think, or you were on both, and you had the
We were,
tiny, it looked so funny, your
yeah,
size
yeah.
of the tail.
That race, he had the 7.6, I had the 6.6, I had the 6.6, and I remember Aruba Havens, I had only one sail and one board for the whole week. So
Yeah.
I was using the 107 and the 6.6 for the whole week, and you know, even if it was like 50 knots, 6.6, 30 knots, 6.6, and it's so
Wow.
funny because I trained only with that gear for like a whole month, and then Aruba was like, it was like 20, 25 knots maybe max probably, and I was just using that same gear in like all wind conditions. So yeah.
But do you find that that's how you race better? Like when you've got less pressure, less gear, less choices, and you can just race?
Uh, yes, yes. If I have to go back to the first years that I started doing slalom, I think I had like maybe 3 boards, 4 sails only, and you know there's not much to think of. It's like 5.5 for the high wind, 6.63 for the medium to high, and then 7.7, 7.0. That's it. It's
Yeah.
just 4 sails, and then you just make it work. And I was 80 kilos when I started doing like really racing. I was at 80 kilos,
That's
and I
still
found
light.
myself to be more unfit back then. And you know, I was like, I mean, I was struggling when the wind gets light, but still, I mean, if it gets like 20 knots, I will still be able to do good do good. So it's like, but if we go through now when we are foiling, it's a whole different world now because you need weight. A guy who's like 80 kilo can never win a foil event.
Really?
I really believe in that.
Yeah.
I think it will go back to to like back in the days. You have to be like 90 plus kilo to win a foil event. I'm really I am sure that a guy who's like 80 kilos or maybe less cannot win a foil event because that weight is becomes too light for the foiling.
You just can't hold it down, or
No, you cannot hold it down. Yeah, yeah. Like
that's interesting.
every kilo after 90 helps a lot.
Okay, so we touched on this last week. What do you think about weight categories?
I you know what Ben, I really wish that we would have that like back then.
Yeah, I
Then I
honestly
would have
say I
been,
think you would have been the champion. That's my
yeah,
personal opinion. We won't
yeah,
know because obviously everyone wasn't racing. But I have a question for you. If there was weight categories, let's say it's never going to happen, but let's say there was two weight categories, under 80, over 80, would you have stayed light or would you still put on weight?
yeah.
What would,
I will be. I think if they do like 90 and down and then 90 and up, like let's say 85 and then 86 to up, you will have
yeah,
to get categories. I think that will be good because as soon as you reach above in the 90 kilos, it's a huge difference already in speed. And
gotcha.
I will stay light. Believe me, I
Yeah.
will stay light. Yeah,
What was your decision? When did you decide to go? I remember, I can't remember when it was, but I remember you came back one season and you were just like
yeah.
monster, like 92 kilos or
I was
something
90
crazy.
like 2016, 2017 when I got injured. I think like 2015, 16, 17. I think those were my best years. I was doing 5 times a week fitness. I was doing 4 hours a day on the water. I was like pretty like fully focused. I
Yeah.
was like I want to become top 5 or maybe top 3 if I can. And
Yeah.
then I went to New Caledonia 2015 for the first time. I was doing dog jibes because I was so confident about myself. I was doing dog jibes in the races. because I know my gear, I know myself,
Yeah.
And then I signed to Gastra. I was going even faster, and then I became second place. Remember that year?
Yes.
I was second place 2016. When I
That's
became
amazing, isn't it? Really. And
yeah,
how heavy were you then when you got second?
I was 85, and
That's
then by the end of the year, I was ninth freestyle. I was fifth in the slalom. I was like, I have two freestyle top 10. I'm slalom top 10, so it might be amazing.
Yeah. I mean, that is so
Yeah,
hard.
and then things happen. 2017, things happen, and then all of a sudden, yeah, I got injured, and then mentally I was kind of like stressed, like pissed. But
I mean,
then,
when you say you got injured, are we talking about the crash?
yeah, the crash, yeah.
Okay, so I
I
have
never,
obviously got this crash because I thought for people who haven't seen it, just to give you an idea, it's super bad quality. I apologize for the guys listening on the audio only, but just to
yeah.
give you an idea, we're going to just play this video just to give you an idea of it.
I was switch to my
An elbow just looks steady as a rock, but here comes the other boy. Here comes Taty Frans.
Which
Oh no!
I don't
Let's
know
hope he's
if any of
okay.
you guys were watching the live stream when that happened,
Antoine
but
An elbow just looks steady as a rock, but here comes the other boy. Here comes Taty
just look at the
Frans.
speed he's coming in there.
Oh no!
I mean, I
Looks
look.
steady as a rock, but here comes the other boy. Here comes Taty Frans.
I mean, that is
Oh
crazy.
no!
yeah.
Let's hope he's okay.
I don't know. I mean, you've obviously got that in your mind. It's like I don't know how to say it. It's like I feel since the crash, you've not
Yeah.
quite been the same.
No.
It's like,
Um. I'm gonna tell you that I am scared. I am not scared. I don't fear. Um. I don't have fear actually. It's just that it made me think like things can happen.
yeah. No,
Yeah.
it gives a dose of reality.
Yeah.
It like the consequences are real, which sometimes when you never get injured and you never hurt yourself and you never crash, everything feels like a game. But
Yeah.
then, I mean, I've been there when I broke my foot and I realized, Jesus, that actually was nothing and it happened. But for
Yeah.
you, I mean, that was a scary situation. I mean, maybe just talk through that situation if you don't mind for people who don't know
No.
about it. It was a windy race in Fuerteventura,
Yeah.
really windy.
Yeah. It was a day like to me it was like I need to do good. Like to me in my mind, I came that year to the tour like I'm gonna be top 5. I'm gonna just be on every race, just being there. On that day in Fuerteventura, I was on my 5-6, and I remember at Julian Cantel above me. I was in the middle, but we were going upwind, and then somehow this strong gust came from nowhere, and then the board just flew downwind. And then when the board flew downwind, like I was just going. Somehow the gust flew me downwind, like maybe I was doing like 40 knots, maybe I really don't
It
know.
was quick. Like on the
It was
video, you
quick,
can
like man, I
see.
couldn't react. The moment I saw Pierre, it was too late to like react to like go another direction. I didn't even see Pierre. And then I was like, okay. Then suddenly I felt this cold in my leg. And then I felt that my leg was kind of like breaking apart. I'm like, I'm not gonna just let the something just break my leg. So I hold down to my leg somehow, and then when I see the picture and I see there's some board like um bent like inside, like turned over, and I sat on the fin.
Yeah, I mean, that's for people who are on the
Yeah,
audio only.
there,
I've just
like
got a
there.
couple of pictures up
Yeah,
from the PWA.
yeah.
So for the guys on YouTube,
I
they
think
can
like
see it.
if
These are
his board didn't turn over, like turned like sideways, I think I would have still be fine. But then maybe Pierre would have been maybe hurt.
yeah.
There, yeah, you see this board turned over, and then I just sat on the fin somehow.
Man, and the pictures don't do it justice. The
No,
video, it happens so
so
fast. When you
yeah,
come in from the left, you are at, I mean, these are the top guys in the world, and you are literally taking 5 knots faster coming in. It
yeah.
was insane.
So like I got a lot of like maybe it could have been like maybe it could have been another way or something like we could have like avoid getting crashed, but I tell you till now I I went so fast that everything happened so fast that I didn't even see Pierre like downwind of me,
Yeah.
and then it happened, you know, and then yeah, like
I mean, I'm going to just put that video on again because a few people now have seen the pictures, which it looks so real in the pictures compared to the video. So those are the pictures from the same moment, and now watch the video.
An elbow just looks steady as a rock, but here comes the other boy. Here comes Taty Frans. Oh no!
Man,
Let's
yeah,
hope he's okay.
I remember that. Yeah,
insane.
yeah.
So yeah, look, that's what that. I mean, that is just.
I think like I don't blame anyone. I don't blame Pierre. I don't blame anybody. But I believe like if you hear somebody coming downwind, you can move, right? I mean, that's
Yeah.
my thing. If I hear somebody coming downwind, I will just go downwind a bit. But again, everything happens so fast. Like it's
I
like
think when
fraction
I
of
was
a second.
watching it, it was almost surreal. It just
Yeah.
like the speed you came, because I'm watching that screen that we're commentating on. I wasn't watching out the window or anything. I was watching the screen, and I saw. I think it's Pierre coming in quick, and then you just came in, and he's in the blind spot of your sail. So
Yeah.
you get the gust, you go downwind, you can't see him. He's probably trying to keep it upwind of Antoine Albo. And it just was the perfect storm for that crash, which, you know, after all these years of racing, I think we've been very lucky not to have a crash like that, which it could have happened probably it could have happened before, that's for sure.
Yeah, but you know what, Ben? Why would we have to stop racing because of one accident happening? It's been like maybe 50 years that something like this happened. So why would one crash like in a decade have to bring us to something that we don't want to bring this on sport to, right? Things look to me, things happen. People get injured. We survive. We go through. You know, like when you go biking, you know, you do motocross, and people get injured. People get broken ribs or something, but they still keep on going. So we shouldn't let something like this, what happened to me or what happened to Ethan, um, stop the action sport. You know, because we are living in a sport where we need to promote it to have it bigger again. If I can see 2000 to now, we only went from being, let's say, 10 to now we're like 4 in my eyes. There is no good vibe anymore. There's no love in the sport. The sport is going down. Like I have a school now. I see everybody coming to my school. They're going winging. So the winging is just taking over.
Yeah.
So we need to somehow bring the whole windsurfing sport back, like the whole energy back.
I think winging is a progression of windsurfing at the moment because it's for a lot of people it's just a bit easier at the moment, you know, and it's new. It's obviously new. It's like when kiting came in, we had a lot of people transferring to kiting, and then I think winging has even captured even more people because I feel, you know, it's a blow-up rig. There's no strings. It's kind of like windsurfing. It pretty much is windsurfing. It just hasn't got the connection. And there's less bits. So I can see what the appeal there. I think it will be a good thing for windsurfing or the windsurfing industry because they've obviously coincide, there's bits and pieces, but I think we need to learn as windsurfing, and winging maybe needs to learn from windsurfing, because I can see personally winging going down the same route. They're going to get super technical on their wings. They're going to have fixed wings. They're going to have knives for foils. It's going to get really technical and really super fast, and people are going to end up down the same route. The reason it's on it, gone.
But I believe it's up to us to not go that far. Like what we're doing now with the foil. We are going too far. People cannot keep up, and this will also break the sport, because we are developing too fast, and people who are buying the stuff won't buy such a small wing. They will never buy, because they're just beginners. They just want to enjoy the moments. Yeah. And then we are coming here trying to go as fast as the fin, while people in that area will go with the fin.
Yeah.
That we went. How many people went with the fin? 1,000 plus.
Yeah, nearly everyone.
How many people went on the foil? 4 guys, 5 guys? So you are telling me you are spending thousands of dollars making short wing, well, you will sell maybe 5 wings, while with the fin you will sell thousands.
Yeah.
So we have to be careful not to kill ourselves, because in the end of the day, if we don't sell boards, if we don't sell fins, the company will not support us.
Mm-hmm.
That's my opinion.
It's totally true. I mean, the Deafy Wind is a really good example of a good snapshot of what windsurfing is, I feel. You know, and obviously foiling is still new. Things are changing. We are seeing a newer generation. I'm seeing a lot of stuff from Tilo over in Miami. He's got loads of juniors on foils, and they are loving it. They are literally learning on a foil. And that's, I'm kind of the middle generation, I guess. I'm not the really old and I'm not the super young. I'm in the middle. I've seen a lot of happenings, but I'm looking at the newer generation to see where they're taking it. And they seem to be loving the foiling. I've got to be honest. So it's a difficult balance, isn't it?
Yes, it is. But what do you want to do? Do you want to kill the fin, or you want to keep the fin and still have some few foilers? But don't bring the foil up. Well, it doesn't generate nothing for the companies, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So that's when I saw more people finning than people foiling, and we should, like you said, we should really consider like the Deafy Wind to see, hey, we are doing the right thing or we're doing the wrong thing. Like, to me, on my school on Bonaire, there's nobody foiling. Nobody wants to rent foiling. Everybody wants to go, either they want to do winging or they want to go windsurfing. But the wind foiling, nobody wants to do windsurfing foiling anymore. And then even the young kids, when it gets windy, they want to go fin slalom.
Yeah.
And when they get light wind, they maybe want to go foiling, but it's not like they really want to do it.
What's your take? Like, before we go to the questions, we've already talked for quite a long time, but we will go to the questions now. So get your questions in for Taty Frans. But just a question: do you think fin should be a separate category to foil?
From day one, yes.
Okay.
From day one, yes. Because it will also give you different people on the tour, right?
Yeah. I mean, again, I can see both sides for sure, but I can definitely see a lot of people thinking that at the moment, but they would like to see fin-only events or fin-only category at least, and foil category, because they are very separate to some people.
I think in France, I think in the France event, they did that. I think they did a race with foiling only. And when they get to 20 knots, they do fin. So they have a limit of wind that you can do. So one day they do only fin, the other day they do only foiling. I think we should do that actually, kind of because you know what I also don't like? to wear helmets and the impact vest. You know, it makes the whole sport be like a Robocop sailing on a fucking windsurfboard. I'm sorry.
Okay. Well,
That's my
right,
opinion.
before we go deeper into that, I'm just going to go and see what questions we've got come in. Oleg, I hope you're still here. We got first question to Taty. After that slalom victory in Stilt, you've started to gain weight to be better in slalom. How has your performance changed since then? Was it worth it?
It wasn't worth it.
Are you dropping back down again?
Sorry?
Are you dropping weight again, or you?
No, actually, my coach and my mother are pushing on me to gain weight. So actually, I'm gaining weight again. At the moment, I'm 94 kilos, and yeah.
94 at the moment.
Yes.
Big boy.
Yes. 94. I'm eating like so much food every day, like every 2 hours, like.
Give people a snapshot of what are you eating a day. I'd love to know.
Oh, I have to give you. I don't have to do. Okay, so I eat. So in the morning I eat eggs, tuna with salad, 20 grams of oatmeal. Then I have chicken with rice. I have pasta with chicken. I have meat with rice. Then I have 2 more meals with pasta and chicken. Then another rice. So that's 5-6 meals, and I have to do 3 times gainer, like the shake, the weight gainer.
Okay.
So like three bottles of those with every.
Is this for foiling?
Yeah.
Whoa. Okay, that is
So
some serious food.
basically I will see if it's worth it or not.
Yeah.
So I will go to Legarda for the 1 hour classic. Then I will go to Croatia to do the PWA and see how I do with this weight.
Yeah,
with
well,
this
that'll be interesting to follow. So, what's your goal? What weight are you looking at trying to get to? Or just
I'll
to stay at?
Okay, so I have another like 2 weeks to go to get to 96 or 97. So if I can get to 98 before I leave Bonaire, that will be okay. Because throughout the days when you are traveling and competing, you lose maybe like 2-3 kilos or maybe 4,
Okay.
because you're eating less. Like everybody is eating less when they're on tour. Yeah, you never eat the same when you're on the road. So you always lose kilos.
Okay.
So
Whoa. That's
98 is
crazy.
the limit, but then I don't want to get to 98. Maybe 97, 96 will be just enough for me. But I feel like every day.
Oh, I want you to get to 100, just so when you stand on the scales, you're like,
I'm like, yeah.
oh man.
But the
Okay.
freestyle, but I wanted to do freestyle, and it doesn't really, like, everything goes like super slow, like all the spark crews, like like. So yeah. Don't know.
So freestyle is off at the moment. Crikey.
Yes.
Right. Rogor says Bonaire is the only place outside Texas that I've ever gone windsurfing. Last September, I'm coming back. Did you go to the Frans Paradise? That's the question.
I think I met him before. This guy, Roger.
Tavish says 2024 PWA rules: 2 boards, 4 sails, which is obviously a couple of years' time. Which gear would you register? I guess some guys are going to be full foil, but majority 1 foil board, 1 98-meter slalom board. Your thoughts?
I think it depends on the calendar of the events. Like if we don't have sealed, I think everybody will just go foiling. The foiling does go super fast throughout the jibes. You can go maybe with a 4.0 on the foil, and then you can still be almost the same speed when you get to like 30 knots. So I think if I would have choose now to go 2 boards, 4 sails, I will do both boards foiling.
Really?
Yeah. Yes.
Wow.
Just
already, because this rule is for 2 years in the future. So they're trying to guess what's going to happen. I guess is that the reason?
But for example, if we don't have Fuerte and we only have, let's say, Zilt or any other event that doesn't get so windy, then I will never choose another slalom board because you don't need it actually.
Yeah.
Because even with the medium board on a 7/8, the foil will still kill the fin for sure. Like easy.
Wow.
Yes. Like
It's coming, isn't it?
Amado is now doing 33 knots average. Like
Really?
500
What
meters
foil, on what foil? What kit?
on
What
the
sort-
on the Z foil.
but what size front wing?
340. And like on that average, like you're doing like the whole slalom thing, and you're doing like 30, like 33, 30, 32 average, man. The field will never win because
Yeah.
when you are jibing, you lose like a lot of speed, and then
Yeah.
the field just goes through and then keep on going. So why would I use fin? I will go foiling.
Okay.
Simple as that. And that is
Cool.
sad.
I feel sad you telling me that. I'm like, oh God. Because I
But
mean, some of the best racing, and I
yeah,
said this to Geordie last week, some of the best racing I watch and comment on is the hard, windy slalom races. Because if you hit a bit of chop on a fin board, a normal windsurfer, you stop, someone gets inside, but with a foil, you just take out that. It just cruises over the top.
to me the whole sensation is gone.
Yeah.
The whole windsurfing, the muscle pain, the leg pain, your back, even though those things hurts, but you still feel like, it's like you want to have more.
Yeah.
But with the foiling, you're just cruising. You don't feel you go maybe 2 hours, you still want to do more. But is
Okay.
it fun to not have more muscle pain? I, like to me, I really want to have the muscle pain. Like like the
Yeah.
shoulders hurting, the legs, that.
Well, I guess it's like the difference between going to the gym and doing a very light workout where everything's easy and
Yeah.
set on 1 or 2 level 2, or you go and you beast it.
Yeah,
When you come away from the gym, you're like, whew.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
interesting.
So
Interesting.
personally, I like Finn. I still love Finn. I would want to do only like a full tour of Finn event. With the 886 big board just pumping. After the jive, just go. People will still miss this. I think we are going too far that we are missing the real windsurfing spirit.
Interesting. I think
That's my opinion, Ben.
that's the feeling I get as well. I don't know why, I just feel that could come back sooner rather than later. That there's enough demand for people to want to see Finn racing.
But what is the deal that we cannot go back to the Finn only racing like event? Why can we not do that?
It could happen. I like I said, it's
We are black people who don't eat vegetables, we eat chicken.
when Amado came to Australia, that's what he wanted: chicken and rice. It's like it's an island thing. So what he wanted to have: chicken and rice.
No, but I really miss Finn. I really miss the racing on Finn only events. I really miss that. And I am not against spoiling, but I just miss the whole thing. The whole vibe.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
Taty Frans, we have a super chat just come in, $10. Rogar is a definite legend. We'll split that money. I haven't split it with Geordie from last week either, I have to confess.
Oh,
But he says, what race sale Challenger Neil Pride 0.7? Well, I could probably answer that for you before Taty does, but I'll let Taty answer. Can you give us big guys something? Light guys, plane, accelerate quicker, are faster in the lulls, top speed is not everything strategy.
what the race sale? Ooh. That's a difficult one, huh? I don't know. The Challenger seems good. My tech is going fast on them. Right? Neil Pride. I tried them once. I never liked the feeling of the needle pride seals somehow. The 0.7s are good. Um,
Is it a personal thing? You know, maybe help these guys out because, you know, not a lot of people get to try all these sails. And I know the top racers, I know they're sponsored by one team, but I know you all try each other's stuff where you can because you need to know what the opposition is.
it's 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 difficult to say to people, hey, you have to buy this because you are sponsored by this brand, and then you're like, okay, you have to buy point 0.7 because I'm sponsored by point 0.7. I try many brands, and I still like Gastra seals a lot back then, 2016, 2017. I still like point 0.7, like they have some the AC one, they're pretty fast. And then you have challenger seals. Well, like if you see results, any brand is good,
Yeah.
in my opinion. So it's
Yeah.
more like
You look at the
a
top
personal
10.
feeling. If you like black sales, you go point 0.7. If you like colorful sales, you go to needle pride. If you like red, you go to challenger sales. I mean, this killing me with those questions, man. Come on, I cannot tell you.
Well, big guys have got to go fast, I guess, if you're a big guy, or you got to work on your jiving. What's your tip for being a big guy?
the
Now you're a big guy.
the I believe the big guys can go faster in lighter winds, like medium to light wind. They are fast because they can hold on to the gear much longer. And then the light guys can go fast in the stronger winds, but that depends on how your gears are set up.
Yeah. It's a lot to
Uh,
do with gear setup, isn't it?
yeah, yes. Like I was spending like 4 hours every day when I was with Gasha, I used to spend like 4 hours on my gear. Like I remember I was like, I only had like two seals. I was using 7.8 and 7.1, and I tried to give them like my most time on those sizes. So if I have to go to 30, I will be like 4 hours, 3 weeks, just on the 5.6, 6.2, just spending time on those one to get them set, and then you're
Yeah.
done. When you get to 30, you said you just hook in and go. So it depends on each event I go to. I just spend more time on the sales that I want to that I had to use on each event. Like sales, you maybe using 7.8, 8.6, or you spend more time on the 7.8 and 8.6.
Okay.
Simple as that.
Okay. Interesting. Okay. Luca Muller says, are big slalom boards dying? At what wind speed can you get plane in when you're a lightweight, 70 kilos with an 8.6?
I used to be 70 kilos, and then you don't need a 8.6.
Really?
Yeah, I was using 7.7, the biggest, when I was 70 kilos. And I remember I just used to change the fin to make it to have more power or not.
But would you say that's PWA? Because maybe this guy races in a country where the win minimums are lower, let's say.
Like PWA rules. Like when I was using PWA rules back then, I was using 7.7 as my biggest seal.
Big one.
At 70 kilo, man, you are super light. That's why I tell you, like, the weight should determine which size of seal you are using. If you are 70 kilos and you want to use like a big 8.6, you will be going slower because your body weight doesn't handle all that much
Yeah.
uh, seal. So
Yeah,
you
it
will
gets
only get
moved
your
around a lot. You get
yeah.
pulled
Yeah.
out of
And
position.
also remember, you still have to jibe the buoy. You know how heavy that sail will get in the buoys. Super heavy. You won't able to to hold on to the sail. So go smaller will make you planes faster, because then the sail on the board gets lighter. You can pump quicker and then get out quicker.
Yeah. I've got to be
That
honest. I had an 8.6 and it never used it. It's still in the
yeah.
garage. 7.8 was my biggest I used.
That's why I was always like in the jibe. I was always quicker because I was always lighter to get going. Because then you have less weight on the board, and then you can pump and go and get going faster than the big stills on the small board.
Yeah.
Like actually, like a guy who's like 7 kilos should go on a 125 liter board, like a 81 cm board, and not bigger.
Okay.
you won't be faster on a bigger board, on a bigger sail, if you're so light.
I was actually speaking to John Sky this week, and he was saying when you're smaller, you're lighter. He got the feeling that the bigger guys kind of generate lift, the taller guys, but when you're shorter, it's harder to generate the lift. So he said that was kind of the key for him to going fast, was to always have the lift kind of programmed into your setup.
Yeah. Like, for example, in Pozo and Fuerte, you don't have to be like such a big guy. I mean, of course, if you're bigger, you can go faster, but they need like a 6'6" or maybe 6'3", while you're maybe on a 4'7". You're just like moving around quicker, like all the sail movement, you do it quicker, faster. To me, that helped me a lot.
And less drag.
Just to get out of the jibe quicker, because we have less movement of the sail. We have less area of the sail move, So I think that you have to be smart. To me, it's all about knowing your gear.
And just strong. Strong.
Yeah.
Do you find, I mean, you hang out with everyone. You're bigger now. You were smaller. Do you rig your sail differently when you were lighter?
I tell you the truth, man. I don't think I am big. I see Antoine and he's big. I see everybody else. I still feel like this small guy. No. But the guy I respect the most is Antoine. I respect him. Like, he's not old. I mean, he's not young anymore, and he's still killing everybody. Actually, believe me.
Yeah.
Like, if you see him to be 50 and he's still being top 2 or top 3, it's like, how can this guy that can be my father just killing me, and he's, to me, he's one of the most coolest guy I have ever met. Like, he's so cool. Like, he's one of the French guys, but he's like so cool. And then I hang out with him. I hang out with everybody. I don't have problems with anyone. But I don't know. The energy changed, man. The energy changed.
I guess that's. I think the foil thing changes the whole energy. I've got Hans here saying, if we agree that foil slalom is boring since jibes are too easy, but at the same time agree that we want foil in light winds rather than not race, why not lower limit for front wing in slalom? So lower the limit from. So I mean, he's basically saying he wants to see foil in the lighter winds and normal slalom in the stronger winds.
That was actually. Thank you. Actually, that was the plan, right? From day one. If we go below 10 knots, we use a bigger front wing. Then we can still go. Then we come to France last year. Everybody is on 700 wing, biggest. So what are we doing?
Yeah, and then you couldn't go.
Yeah, and then you said, we're pumping, but you have like a 700 wing. So I don't know, Ben. I really don't know. We are making rules, but we are the same ones breaking the rules.
Yeah. So I did notice that in France. So people who don't know, we had an event in France last year. We had some wind. It wasn't a lot of wind, but if the guys had bigger, more powerful foils, 100% we could have raced. Maybe not 100%, but I thought if you'd have had bigger foils, because Bals Muller was out there on his freestyle foil with a 5.0 or something playing around.
Yeah, but that's why I tell you, like, because I didn't vote for that because I didn't want to have fooling with Finn. But I know that, like, if we would have like 900 square meter wing in the front, on the second day of or maybe the third day of the event, we would have been competing for sure. But then everybody end up having smaller wings, and then we end up pumping, but you don't get up. The IQ guys, they go with the 9.0 with a bigger wing on 5 knots wind, and they're still going. And we had more winds in France that we could have competed or not. Then come on, help me out. Right?
I mean, you're asking the wrong guy, because I always get into trouble because I come from a longboard background. I know you do, actually.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, we come from Mistral 1 design back in the day, and I always say this, and all the top slalom boys look at me like, "Shut up, Ben." But I always feel like you got to race. If you can race, even if it's not 100% fair, which does upset people, you know, but what is fair? Someone will win. They won't be totally lucky. They have to be good to win. So there's and the equipment you've got now with the big foils, you can go in some serious light wins. And again, I know that's not a popular decision with a lot of the top slalom guys, but I feel for race organizers to have a competition that costs that much money and not get a result is much more detrimental to the sport than you not getting the position that you think you deserve because you're racing in winds that are not suited to you. I don't know. It's difficult, I know, but
it is not difficult because if we voted for something, if we took out the bigger fin board to use full board, we should have be on a bigger wing and then just go out and do the racing.
Yeah,
simple as that. That's obvious. That's the thing.
I do feel like, me personally, I've said this for a long time, and I would say this to anyone. I feel like the slalom fleet needs to mix it up a bit. I feel like wave slalom, you know, however you do it, I know it's not easy. There's all obstacles that come across, but wave slalom has to be brought back. I know it would go down amazingly well. Changing the course a bit more, you know, doing some mixing up. I think it would just be so much more exciting. And don't get me wrong, windy slalom, for me, on the fin, is the most exciting racing out there. And I've got one video on YouTube, which is probably my most viewed video, which is the final inverter between windy slalom with a drone.
Matteo and Antoine, right?
Yeah, but there's so many views on that. They're not all windsurfers. So people are watching it who are not windsurfers. And that is the biggest kind of massive tick you can get, I think. I know it's going to come round. I know, and we're struggling to get events at the moment, but we need to be going to windy places. I feel and hard places on the fin. That's I love the foil stuff as well, but I do feel there's a bit of a crossover coming, a junction coming where people are going to decide. I feel it just coming.
Yeah, if you would have asked me now, would you go to like 10 events of foiling or 5 events of fin? I will go to the 5 events of fin, like right now.
Yeah. Well, we've got to look at, we've got IQ foil, which...
But that's what I mean.
I know it's different and the brands are not involved and it's an Olympic class, it's one design. I think the IQ foil should be an open box or whatever where everyone can produce the gear. That's what I feel. And that should be the Olympic foiling class. And then there should be a fin slalom going to windy places. And
I agree with you. I agree with you. If we do, now I'm being honest, if we also do PWA only foiling, then there is no reason to have a fin event, like a fin event or a fin tour. Because everybody is doing the same thing. Foiling. I am not against foiling, but we need to remember that we have people who want to go finning. So we have to do some fin events for the people who want to fin. Simple as that.
But like then we got Davis, who's saying, look at boat racing, kite racing, foil is the future. You can't stop evolution. And I would agree with that to a certain extent. But I said this last week, so I don't want to sound like a broken record, but I fully believe the future could be boring for foil slalom because no one's going to be stopping at the jibes. Everyone is, once they've gone off the start, it could get to a point where you're just following and there's no chance for overtaking because no one's making any mistakes. At the moment, it's still making mistakes. But with fin, because you're so close to the water and hitting chop and lull, there is much more room for overtaking. Again, whether that plays out, I don't know. But I just have this feeling that will get like that. But don't get me wrong. At the moment, windy foil stuff is super exciting. There is lots going on.
Yeah, like man, if I go foiling, I was foiling yesterday, 2 days ago I was foiling, and I'm trying to push to go faster, and then every knot you go faster, you feel like another feeling. It's like you go faster, 30 knots, 31 knots. It's like the boat starts moving. Like, oh no, okay, I have to be like locked because if you're not locked, you are. You know? Yeah, God. No, but look, people get us wrong. I'm not against foiling. I like
No,
foiling.
not
Man, I
me.
do everything. I do winging. I do freestyle. I do everything. But the fin will always give you that extra, I want to do more. I want to do more.
Yeah.
But
It's a
then, yeah,
different feeling, isn't it? Different feeling where sailing on the fin, on the edge of control with that, this is the feeling of fin sailing, and
but
foil
check,
is different.
but check is saying something. Why are legs so skinny, Holmes? Still skipping leg day. I never skip leg day, man. Never. Actually, you know what, my check? Um, I like more to do leg days than doing like those body pumping stuff.
Tavish is obviously a foil converted, definitely by the sounds of it. He said, I didn't want to even try foiling. Now I do it 100%, even in 35 knots. And I agree. I see a lot of people like this
Yeah,
as well who have taken, and maybe they're a bit slower than the pros to take it on, because I'm definitely seeing there's been a slow in uptake in foiling, but I'm speaking to people now who are like, actually, Ben, it's easier on my legs because they're getting
yeah,
older.
it is.
You know,
Yeah,
they can go long distance. It's amazing. If you want to go cruising long distance with a backpack and go and do something with a friend, or it is awesome. And you
yeah,
can go for longer without killing yourself.
yeah. It's
Fin
true.
sailing is hard work.
My best my best gear to cruise with is like with a 7.0 on the foil, and you just it's such a it's the perfect setup. 7.0 medium wind, you just cruise. But still, it is what it is. If you want to go in that direction, we have to go to that direction, and we see what happens to the future.
Yeah. Well, Hans says foil racing, no one will even get off the plane in tax when course racing. I know, that's what I mean. You've got to push that. You've got to push it. But I do think Finn will have like this rebellion. How big it will be, I don't know, but I just can feel it coming. I think you won't just kill it off with the foil, but
No.
but like I said, who knows? Foiling is definitely the future. We're seeing it in all the boat races,
Yeah.
and it will be interesting to see how it plays out. Dave McKenzie saying sorry, but foiling is the future.
Yeah. Dave, of course, it is the future. I don't say it is not. I say it is the future, but we have to remember also we have many people who wants to go fin windsurfing. So we not promote only foiling. And then while we are thinking that there are more people doing fin than doing foiling, that's the whole truth.
Yeah. Well,
That's the
Julia
whole.
says, can't we have separate rankings for fin and foil within the same slalom race, so you get an overall winner? I mean, I got to be honest, I do like the idea, and I said this from the beginning, of choosing. I've said it both ways. I've been on the fence and then gone either side of the fence, but I do like the idea of going, right, this is a fin race, right, this is a foil race. But then the equipment becomes a nightmare, because to carry all the equipment around, what they're trying to do is save that for the guys. Because when you carry around 6 boards and 10 sails like it used to be, it is not fun. Takes away from kind of everything.
Yeah, it's like people don't know what you're going through once you check in. Well, just have to. Yeah, Dave. Yeah, of course. I mean, if we can have two.
Just so people on audio, Dave says we'll just have 2 different classes.
Yeah,
So
that would be nice. It will give people who doesn't want to do foiling chance to do fin, and then they can. It's just like 2 of both goals, and then you can be happy. Simple as that. But yeah.
okay. Well, I think we've done fin and foil to death. I think I'm gonna have a look for a few other different questions, maybe from earlier, just to go with it. Second one, sad one. What is happening with all these cancelled events? COVID is no longer an issue. Sponsors, money issues. I don't know. I can't comment, but I can imagine if you're an organizer, you have a couple of years off, you can't organize your competition, you find other ways to make money and do things. And, maybe that is part of it. I don't know.
Yeah. But you know what, Ben? Like, I see many events happening, like the IQ events happening. I think it's a really good thing. I mean, imagine if they weren't there. Like if the whole IQ organization didn't happen, we will end up with like 2-3 years without any events of windsurfing. So actually, IQ came, and then they are still doing events, and people still are watching the events, And I think the IQ thing is a really good thing. And like maybe some people agree that the foiling saves the whole windsurfing thing, which is true. But it's time to have events that we can also involve more foiling also into it. But it is not only about foiling, right?
Is the future to have big events like the Deafy Wind? So there's a lot of participation, maybe not as big as the Deafy Wind, but 200 people, and it's like a pro-am, and then we end up with a final with just the pros, top 16 at the end of the event.
Yeah.
And then
It's
you've
like
got a lot of windsurfers.
Yeah. Life, man. We have to try to make it good. I think this whole windsurfing thing, the whole foiling thing, it's a good thing for the sport. Some kids will love to do foiling. I see many kids when I went to Legarda, man. Like it's like the windsurf mecca. It's like everybody's windsurfing from morning to like noon. It's like, what? Are you still windsurfing? Yeah, and they just go back and forth like, no, no. It's like, I think it's one of the places I went that people are pretty much like stoked to go windsurfing or do foiling. It's just it is just the place to be to go windsurfing or foiling.
I've never been. I need to go.
You have to go, yeah.
Yeah, I know. It's a bit sad. 44. I've never been, but I will go.
Yeah.
Okay, another question. The Swedish whale says, "How is the partnership with Future Fly going?"
Actually, how we started it was because I wanted to stop windsurfing 2018 in December, because I remember I was with Gastra and then everything went wrong. I had bad results after the year, and then I was like, you know what, I'm gonna quit windsurfing. I'm gonna go put all my energy in the school. And then Arnold came along, and then we have a good connection, and then we just build up from there. I was like, why would I want to do it again? It's like another year of being on tour again. I have to travel again. But then something inside told me, Taty, maybe he came to just help me because he believes in me. So when somebody believes in me, I just put my whole energy into the company, and then I respect him for helping me. And then the connection it's amazing. I feel like we are brothers now, like we are family, and then we never have issues. Sometimes we don't agree in certain stuff, but then at the end of the day, if you put minus and plus, you can kind of like mix things. And I like him because he's honest, and honest to me is one of the most important things in life. And then until now we have no issues. We just do our thing. We just build board together. I went to Israel twice already. They took that long flights, and then we just test boards, and then I met his family, and then some other friends, and then the connection is really good.
That's cool. And obviously Amado's on the team now.
I am very happy. Yeah, and then and then Amado's on the team, and then to me it's like I was happy when we took Amado, because it's like he can do anything. Like he can make anything looks like easy. Like you put him on a full body, he just goes. You put him on a wing body, he just goes. You put him on a freestyle body, he just kills the freestyle board. It's like just do it all. And then having him on the team, I think was the best thing ever.
Yeah, I mean, I think that what you got him, you designed the board. I think you designed the board, or
yes, I designed. I helped. Yeah, because it's kind of like I had to make a board, not thinking that he will come, but still think that we need something that will fit a big guy and a small guy.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I was like, I need something fast, something spinny, something with pop. And then like, then we have Amado coming to the team, like, fuck, okay, we need some volume in the tail. So let me put some volume in the tail. No, but the Tamada is based on many boards that I tested throughout the 2 3 weeks we had, and then the boat just got good. And then for him to win both tour, like the EFPT and the WWE tour, I'm like,
It's like
okay.
European champion, world champion,
Yeah,
first
and I'm
time on the board, and you're there going, yeah, well, I did a pretty good job, I think.
yeah, no, but the thing is, like, maybe we were lucky, maybe, but I don't think we were lucky. I think it's just hard work. Amado puts many effort into the gym to lose weight, to get to like 88 kilos, because he was like 95 kilos. He had to lose like 7 kilos to go down to 88, to be able to play in the light conditions. And it's like training with gym and then eating good and then being on it, being mentally ready to just win events, and it's it is just hard work throughout the year. And I'm happy that he won it, because it's.
I mean, he was so close so many times, and you just
Yeah.
felt like it's just a matter of time. Come on.
Yeah, and then to me that is also special, because through all the years he almost got it, and then as soon as he did sign to Future Fly, and he just won. So what else do you want?
I was going to say, I said to Arnon, I was like, that was a pretty good signing, and I didn't see it coming. That signing of Amado was like, one of the smaller football teams signing Messi or someone like this. It was a big deal.
Yeah, it wasn't easy. I think Arnon was pretty much like it wasn't like an easy decision to take him. Because he's one of the big names, so you need to have some budget to have something like that. But I think it's worth it. Yeah. It's worth to take the risk, and then taking the risk, you will always win, and then we take the risk, and then we won. So,
well, it was like listening to the Roberto Ricci podcast with Maciek, and it's like, they signed Bringdale, but he was like, he has to do something. If he doesn't do anything, it has the opposite effect. It's all or nothing, really, unless he's in the middle and he's doing okay. But if he wins, it's like everyone wants that, or and it does have that effect for sure.
But like every company now has somebody that they look up to, right? Like at FMX, they have Maciek, they have Basil, at the others. I know somebody else. They have many people. They're looking. They have to do good to be the face of the brand.
Yeah.
Right. Or similar style. I don't know what similar style you have. You. The big guy. Yeah. So.
The thing is, I think with a few brands at the moment, I think Roberto RRD is one of them. With the foiling moving so fast, it was like, okay, we can either chase it for a few years, or we let, a few of the guys go and find out where it's going. Because the problem with creating that amount of equipment over the last couple of years, people are buying it, and then they buy it and you go, oh, sorry, that's shit now. You need something else. And it's like everything was moving fast. I feel like it's getting more solid now. Like you could buy stuff now, which isn't going to be outdated next week. But exactly, it's still at that level for the top guys.
If you
I kind of feel like it should be custom, and I've said this before, like it should be custom around these years where things are moving so fast, because you want to get to the top end quicker. If you start putting into production, yes, the normal guy can buy it, but maybe the normal guy doesn't need that very, very top stuff. And if you leave it open, things get pushed quicker. Again, it's just my take on it, not saying it's right. but
then
because it is about development, like foiling now, if you don't have the right foil, you are not going to win a bloody race. Like you see it in IQ foiling. Someone got disqualified because they sanded their foil too much. They had to use their second foil and they just dropped down the rankings. So nothing changed apart from they lost their good foil. And you think it has that much difference.
But Ben, look, when I came to the tour for the first time, I mean, I wanted to do slalom. I wanted to order a carbon fin. It took me literally 3-4 years to get a good carbon fin. 3-4 years. I ordered the fin in 2006. I got the fin in 2010 because you wouldn't top 10, so we gave priority to the top 10 guys. Imagine you coming now to the tour. You want to have the best foil. You have to wait one year to get the foil. Would you wait a year to get a good foil? Why would you?
But
Why? And
is that true though? Like, you know,
it took me 3-4 years to get a good carbon fin.
yeah, I totally see that. But what I'm thinking is with the foil, it's like just because it's production doesn't mean it's exactly the same as all the others. I know that from.
But then the guy who is sponsored by a company will always get the latest stuff, which is not exactly as what you're buying. So what you are buying will be 2 knots slower, albeit 2 knots faster, and that means you will never win because you don't have the stuff that I have.
Okay, my next question then: Can you
Come on, Ben.
Can you check foils close enough to make sure that they aren't production? Surely not. You can have whatever foil you want.
Yeah, that's difficult. Yeah. No, but I am sure. I mean, I don't know, but I don't believe. I think there needs to be a limit to what you can produce, stop, sell. But don't produce, sell, then keep making, then you give the best ones to the other guys. No,
Yeah.
because then it's not fair to me. Then I will kill you every race, and then you will be like, what? I bought this last month, and then you have this one now. It's better, so you keep spending money.
I think though, but in any sport, when things are progressing so fast, we saw it in Dunk about Kevin Pritchard.
There has to be a moment that has to be stopped. We started the year using this amount of gear, this amount of wing. Don't develop until the next year that you can use those wings, because it will not be fair to you or to somebody else.
Well, Chris says Goya killed the fin. Foil and fin competitions shouldn't be played together. Well,
Yeah.
I think we just did have that conversation, but
Yeah, he's good. No, but Goya is fast. He's really fast. He's really someone else. Much respect to him.
yeah.
Much respect.
Dave McKenzie saying the biggest hurdle for foiling is the price of the gear. We need a company to bring out a Volkswagen foiling setup, which is only $1,000, making the sport more accessible. I think that will come. Everything's moving so fast at the moment. IFCA is a fin only. Is that correct? IFCA is still doing fin only.
Yeah, they had the event in Aruba, I think, like 2 weeks ago, and they had on fin only. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes. But again,
sorry, Gift said we need UK investment and build some big events. Make a Tyree Wave Classic massive. Lottery tickets being bought. Yeah, I mean, from my point of view, to make events bigger, better, whatever, you need event organizers, and people don't give event organizers enough credit. It's not easy organizing an event. And there's a lot of work involved. So that event organizer has to make a lot of money. It has to. If he doesn't make a lot of money, it's not worth all the stress and all the effort and all the time. And it maybe doesn't work out in the end. They need to make a lot of money. That's just how it goes. We
were thinking to do the IQ event here on Bonaire, and then we're trying to talk to the government about this.
It wouldn't surprise me if it happens. Julian Jansen said pro-am events like Damex in Browsdam are just awesome, good vibes. I agree. I think for me personally, the pros need to get closer to the real windsurfers.
Yes.
I know that's not ideal for sometimes because some ones are very serious, but I genuinely think that's the vibe you need. That's how it used to be when I was growing up.
Me too.
And that's what got me into it. That's that vibe.
Yes. But now we don't have those things. I remember we used to go to events in like Austria, and it was like you go windsurfing, and after you go party. You go party, man. And now
it's true. I mean, it's a different era now, but it was definitely a lifestyle.
It was like a whole thing happening, like a whole scene, like from windsurfing. After windsurfing, there's like the festival, like people go there, they see you, they want to autograph. Those things are the things that like build the windsurfing spirit. I mean, it also builds your name too, They see Ben Prophet, oh, Ben Prophet, I want your signature. Those things is like, oh, okay. But now you go to an event, there is nothing. There's nothing after that. It's just the windsurfing on the water, and then on the beach, it's like that.
Too serious.
The Dev event, to me is a nice event, even though you spend like 80 kilometers on the water. Exhausted. But you see that the people live with the sport. There's many things happening, Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, Smog says I like foiling because I can get slalom gear cheaper.
True.
Every cloud has a silver lining, I guess.
This guy is so smart. Yeah. Oh my God. No, but I think we really have to work a way to not mix foiling with fin, and then we can see if we will have more people foiling, or will we have more people doing the fin, or not. And then we can balance the foiling and the fin. Which one is more popular? Which one is not?
I just, again, we need to get more events again to see where it's at. But like I say, I genuinely like the idea of the national racers racing with you guys. I think this is a great concept because it also puts more money into the event. It helps you guys get closer to those guys, and it's kind of a tour for them. It's obviously not easy to do lots of events because people have to work, but you could definitely do it in Europe. It would be more a European thing, I guess, because there's a lot of
it doesn't matter
in Europe.
As long we have something happening, it's always good,
What we got here, Neil said the pedal ray doesn't measure the slalom boards. RRD mentioned this in his podcast. That's the reason he's out of slalom.
I don't remember.
So just going through a few more questions. Hans, the normal guy that just did his 10-hour basic windsurfing course, needs an 85-litre board. Just front foot straps, harness line. Yeah, I think this is talking about costs of windsurfing equipment, which, again, windsurfing is, you can make it as expensive as you want. You've got to have a certain amount of gear, obviously. But if you shop around, if you do secondhand stuff, there is some amazing gear out there at crazy prices. I actually thought about making a video about just going online and buying some equipment, but then I would end up with all this equipment.
But the thing is, like I think like after the COVID, and then you have to order stuff. Everything is like sold out. There is no way you can. There's no way you can buy something and then get it like this. Like even from my school, I have to wait for like maybe 7, 8 months to get something, not all, but something.
Yeah, it's tricky to get stuff at the moment. 100%.
Yeah.
How fast do you go on your foil?
My fastest that I went until now is 32.7 knots.
How many? How many? How fast?
32.7.
32.7. Right, I'm going to write that down. That's my goal.
But then, you know what, Ben? But then you see like Nico, you see Mateo, I see Amado yesterday, and he was doing 33.8 average, and then he told me, you know what? I think I can go fast. I'm like, fuck, I cannot even pass the 33 knots.
What are you doing? What foil are you doing that on? What size? I know it's a bit more complicated than that, but just to give people an idea, what front wing?
Like Amado is now like we are now trying to go smaller, like 320 front wing.
320.
Front wing, yeah. But it's the thing is, the better you get, you want to go faster. You want to pass your own limit. I was doing 29, thinking it was super fast. Now I'm doing 30. I'm like, this is slow. I want to go faster. But then every knot you want to go faster, you have to adjust the body, adjust your wing, adjust your rig of the mass. No, I want the wings to be stiffer. I want to have blah blah blah. It's like many things are coming. So, but then again, you want to go falling in like high wind, or you want to go falling in like low wind. So it's the
Yeah. Because we could get to a point where we're doing slalom, they come around the first jibe and they drop off the foil.
I don't think so.
Okay, just checking.
I really don't think so. Like, even me, I'm not a full expert in jibing or something like that. But when it's like blowing like 25 knots and I go on this super small front wing, and I start jibing, it just keeps flowing. You don't go down like easily. It's man, this falling thing is extreme. Like, you don't know how much control you have, because the wings are so easy. The Z foils we have at the moment, they're easy and fast.
What foils are you using?
Z foils.
Z foils.
Yeah, together with Mateo, Aquino, Amado, Anondagon, and I try many foils in the beginning, and believe me, like it is not because I'm sponsored, but I know that these foils really work. Like,
Yeah,
they're so easy. The mess you can even bend the mess. Like, it's like a brick. It's like it doesn't even bend. And I'm doing like I like the foil because it's so easy. It's so easy, fast. Everything is like you just hook in and then go.
too easy.
Even though yesterday I had a big crash. Did you see
Oh,
my
really?
my post?
I haven't seen it. I can put it on. Hang on.
I
I'm
wanted
gonna
to go.
find it.
I wanted to go jibing, and then my foot got caught in the strap. So kind of like lift the board sideways, and the board goes like.
I'm gonna put it on because I'm just on Instagram. Is it on Instagram or a story?
Sorry.
Is it on Instagram?
On my post, yeah. From today or yesterday? Today, I think.
Are you sure?
Yesterday, yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay, I found it. Hang on.
On the second one, second video.
Yeah. Okay. You confused me with. Okay, this is for obviously people who are watching on YouTube.
You still get crashed.
Yeah, we're gonna put that on.
Yeah.
Taty Frans.
Look at that.
Having it. Is that with the harness mount?
Yeah.
Okay, so were you coming into jibe then, or not? No.
I wanted to go because I was reaching, and I wanted to go down into jibe. So I wanted to take out my foot out of the strap, but somehow my foot got stuck in the strap. So I kind of like lift the board sideways.
I mean, for people who are listening, audio only, the foil comes up behind him, which I know when I was learning to foil, that was the worst thing because you can almost come back and headbutt it. You know what I mean? But it kind of breaks your ankles.
Yeah, but I think if you hold on to the boom, you will have you won't crash so bad.
Yeah, that is a good tip actually for anyone foiling. If that is
just
what everyone keeps telling me, don't let go of the boom. If you
yeah,
hold the boom, in theory, you should be okay.
because then you don't, then you know that the foil won't go anywhere.
Jeez, that's a good one though. I
Oh
did
my
see the picture, but I didn't realize there was a video. Otherwise, I would have
god.
100% shared that.
Yeah.
I might just leave that playing in the background for the whole rest of this.
Yeah. Nice though. Cool.
Okay, we've got a few more questions and I'll let you go. Taty, you seem to be always happy or have a smile. It makes everyone else smile too. What a nice gift. What is it that makes you feel positive and happy all the time? Does it affect your windsurfing?
My life hasn't been that easy when I was growing up. You know, there was like parents problem. My father and mother always fighting. Then I got kicked out from the house when I was little from my mom because she had another boyfriend, and then she didn't, and then the guy didn't want me in the house. So things like that happened. So
Okay.
why would I? And then I found windsurfing, and it gave me the life that I always wanted. You know, being free on the water, and I think those things make me realize that life can be much better than just having people shouting to each other.
Yeah.
Day
I
one, day
think you're right. I mean, for me, just listening to you telling me that, and I
yeah,
think it goes with me as well. And like, it's just appreciating that what we are living
yeah,
at the moment, even when it's you haven't got many events or the sponsorship's a bit hard work, they're not real problem. They're not as bad as some
that's
people
not,
have got it. And you do hear some pro riders moan about things, and you think, boys,
you
girls,
get,
or whoever it is, you think just put it
yeah,
in perspective. I
yes,
think it's an amazing life if no matter how much you're earning, to just even live the life that you can lead, which you
yeah,
can't do it for the whole time you're alive. You've got to earn some money at some points, but there is definitely something to be taken from that.
yeah. There was, I tell you the truth. Then so I became sponsored by Gastra HD. Then I became sponsored by Starboard Gastra and then something like that. I remember there was like 2 years, 2009. I got no money, like no sponsor gave me money. Starboard zero. You get two boards, no money, full of bonus. So just bonus. So if you win an event, you get the bonus. Other than that, we're not paying. So I have some savings. So you know what, Tati? We are gonna do this. We're gonna go to the tour. We're gonna do 2009. Whatever happens, happens. And then that year, 2009, I had the most coverage in any magazine as possible. I went to Silt. I remember it was the last event in Silt. I won Silt 2009 in Silt. I won Silt. So I started gathering all the invoicing, like all the coverages, making invoices. I'm like, so I'm getting some bonus, bonus. Okay. That year, I got more money ever before in my life. Only from,
Really?
yes, I get coverage, like a whole coverage. Open the magazines, 4 pages of me, interviews, blah blah. It's like pop 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 pop. Send the invoice. 2010, I am a happy man. The next year, big bonuses. I mean, big deals.
Yeah.
Our board will want me back. Salary, bonus, Maui sales, bonus, salary, done. So
Interesting.
it takes, sometimes you don't have to think about only about the money. You will keep you keep the same gear that you believe in. You work harder, and then you win some events, and then you get better.
Yeah.
That's all about it. I think it takes more than just the money. It takes what you want to get. I lost everything, and then I got it back twice. Believe me. There was a year I got nothing, and suddenly I got more. So money shouldn't be an issue actually.
Yeah, I mean, you've obviously got to have the
It,
talent to
it,
get with that, but
what?
I know what you're saying. I mean, I think for you and for me as well, like those early years, all my deals were related to getting exposure in magazines. Like, you get the sheet. If you get a front cover, you get this much money. If you get this, which have kind of don't feel like they're around anymore. Maybe they are, but that was such a big part of all my sponsorship deals. It kind
I
of
remember,
set
yeah,
me for the future.
it's funny because I asked point seven. Can I get can I get the Instagram, the likes, when you get likes or followers and then you get bonus.
Exposure.
So I asked them, can I get this? And they're like, no.
The thing is, it's
If I would have got that, man, I would be like rich now, but
yeah.
they wouldn't
It's,
give it to me.
it's almost easier now to do the numbers and the views of videos. Like back in the day, it was like if you get in this magazine, there was like a list of top magazines, like
Yeah,
Surf Magazine was up there, Boards, Windsurf,
yeah,
and if you got the front cover with them, it was quite a lot of money.
$1. So yeah, fuck. And then I asked for that, and they're like, no, you will not get that. I will just stop my salary now, and then if they can give me that Instagram, Facebook views or likes, I will just go for it.
I think, but I don't think that's a bad way to go. I think it's a good
I
way
would
to go.
I would just do that, man, for sure. Yeah, but
That's what
well,
we need to set up.
yeah,
Okay, dude. Well, I'll let you go because I know that's been quite a long time now.
yeah, almost 2 hours.
Well, legend. Thanks a lot for coming on. Always a pleasure to have a chat. When are we going to see you next? What's your next event?
I'll be in Legarda in about 2 weeks
Okay,
for the 1 hour classic. Then I'll
cool.
go to Croatia for the PWA event, and then yeah, I don't know what's the next event it's gonna be after that. So we see if Fuerte happens. Maybe Fuerte happens. If you're lucky, yeah. If not, then yeah.
Well,
But
I'm crossing my fingers that Furta happens because it is one of my favorite events of the year. There is rumors, I'm going to put it out there,
yeah,
that Beyond Dunkerbeck is thinking of trying how to get slalom in Pozo. Not this year, but there
next.
is. It's definitely, I mean, Beyond Dunkerbeck is organising the event, and you're thinking, if there's one man that can make slalom happen again in Pozo, it is him. I am like,
Man,
please,
that
please.
that will be amazing.
Yeah.
That will be the mega slalom spot. Believe
It'd
me.
be epic. I would even like to see. Actually, I was speaking to Paul Van Bellen yesterday, and he was
Yeah,
saying, "Why don't you get him to organise like the guys who are doing the wave event? Just get him to do a slalom with the guys on wave equipment. Just whatever they've got there. It
like a
doesn't matter
super.
who wins. Just
Yeah,
do it."
just yeah, like a little fun event, something like that. Like a fun something. Just man, that would be
Yeah.
amazing, man. Fuck yeah.
No prize money, no nothing.
Just
Just for a
fun
few beers or something.
for the
Just for
year.
fun. I
Yeah.
love it. I'll be well in. All right, dude. Take it easy.
Take care and thank you. Huh?
No worries, man.
Rock.
Always a pleasure. Okay, so there you go, Taty Frans. Always an absolute legend, and interesting to hear a bit of backstory there. Obviously, we went through a few of the questions, like always. I never answer them all. I always get a bit carried away. If you do like this format, the live podcast questions, if maybe you're listening to it afterwards, always good to have feedback. Let me know who you want to hear. I'm obviously talking about doing more like we did with Patrick as well, shapers or sail designers. Maybe we can get somebody actually doing some shaping live, which would be pretty cool. And like I say, any other people you'd like to hear on the live would be blooming great. Like, subscribe. If you do like this stuff, you can support the channel, chuck in a few beers. We've got an F2 giveaway this week, actually. Going to give away 2 F2 boards. Literally 2 boards for probably putting a comment somewhere. There's going to be one competition on Windsurfing.TV YouTube channel, which you have to be a member. So that means supported the channel with a bit of cash. I think you can actually do it on the YouTube thing now. There's a thanks button, just in case you're wondering. And then there's going to be an Instagram one on F2 Windsurf. The only stipulation is you've got to be following F2 Windsurf on Instagram. So you have to be following those guys to win the boards, but there'll be a custom board of your choice and a production board up for grabs. We're going to do paper, scissors, rock, I think, to see who gets either one. But let's see. So stay tuned to the channel. That will be coming. Obviously, Send It Sunday. We've got the body drag competitions and all that sort of stuff. So send in your videos. O'Neill are giving away, I think, 3 wetsuits over the next couple of months. So it's well worth getting some attempts on film. It won't be for the best body drag. Well, it could be, but it could be for the best crash. It could be for the best effort. It could be for the best perseverance. It could be anyway. I haven't decided the criteria yet. So there we go. Long-winded way of saying goodbye. See you for the next one. I need to find my little button now.